Who is she? Rachel's voice shook as she held up her phone. The blurry photo showing Mark and another woman holding hands. Mark froze. He glanced at the picture. It's not what you think, but his eyes couldn't meet hers. Rachel's heart raced. But if it wasn't true, why couldn't he explain? Mark packed a bag and left that night, saying he needed time to think. Days passed, and she barely ate or slept. She wanted answers, but all she had were questions. One stormy night, Rachel's phone buzzed. It was Mark. "Rachel, I'm stranded on the highway. My car broke down and my phone is dying. I need your help." Rachel hesitated. He betrayed me, but could I really leave him out there? Grabbing her keys, she drove through the rain and found Mark by the roadside, drenched and shivering. Back home, Rachel finally asked, "Why, Mark? Why did you do this to us?" "I felt stuck, like I wasn't good enough, like I was losing myself. But tonight, when I thought I might not make it, all I could think about was you. I ruined the best thing in my life because I didn't know how to face my fears." Rachel's anger softened. He wasn't just a cheater, he was broken too. Rachel took a deep breath. "I don't know if I can forgive you, but I won't let your mistakes define me. My life is mine to shape." I had just sat down to eat my favorite meal, a big seafood boil with crab leg. But then the doorbell rang. It was Albert's sister holding her son and daughter's hands. "Can I grab my daughter's backpack?" Stepping inside before I could say anything. Her son saw my dinner and shouted, "I want crab legs." "I'm sorry, but this is my dinner." The boy started crying loudly. I felt annoyed, but I showed them out. Albert came home later that night. "How could you treat my family like that?" I explained that I was tired of his sister coming over uninvited and her kids taking my thing. "They're just kids." I felt hurt. I worked hard to pay most of our bills, but Albert always took his sister's side. Therefore, I started thinking about leaving. One day, Albert's sister let herself into our home to use my printer without asking. My stomach churned as I realized my privacy had been breached yet again. At night, Albert demanded I apologize to his sister for my selfishness. "I've paid our bills, fed your sister's family, and had my boundaries trampled over and over. What have you done? If you can't accept my family, maybe you're the problem." I packed my things and moved out. When he called me, I told him it was over. I blocked his number and started fresh. A homeless man sat on the street, wrapped in a torn blanket. A rich businessman walked by and muttered, "Get a job, loser." The homeless man's eyes burned with anger. Actually, he wasn't always homeless. In fact, he used to be a successful lawyer. He had everything: money, fame, and respect. But one day, after losing everything in a bad investment, he found himself on the streets. The world had turned its back on him, just like the businessman. Days passed, and the cold winds got stronger. The homeless man saw the businessman every day walking by without a second thought. But he didn't give up. He spent his nights reading books in the library, and he knew one day he'd get back on his feet. Then, one rainy afternoon, a group of thieves snatched the businessman's wallet and pushed him to the ground. Without thinking, the homeless man rushed over to help, chasing the thieves away. "Why would you help me?" The homeless man smiled. "Because no one deserves to be judged by their worst moment." The next day, the businessman walked by as usual, but he had a job offer to the homeless man. "Let's work together. Kindness always wins in the end. Comment yes if you agree." A woman sat alone in her living room holding a cold cup of coffee. The room was quiet, but her mind was loud with thoughts. It was her birthday tomorrow, and the day after that was her mom's death anniversary. The biggest pain was that her boyfriend of 14 years had just left her. He said he wanted to become a better man and needed 6 months away to grow. But he was also flirting with another woman at work. The woman felt hurt, but decided to trust his words. Therefore, she gave him time to move out and start fresh. But one night, he got drunk and became violent. Scared and heartbroken, the woman left to stay with her family. She realized she couldn't trust him anymore, but he kept sending messages. "You're mine. Don't be with anyone else or you'll ruin everything." One day, the woman joined a friend's party to feel normal again. At the party, she laughed for the first time in weeks. Then, her phone buzzed. "I'm coming back in December. Let's fix this." But the woman looked around the room and realized she didn't want to go back. That night, she wrote in her journal, "Real love doesn't hurt or control. I deserve better." And for the first time, she felt free. This teacher threw her student's prayer book in the trash. "God isn't real. Stop wasting time with this nonsense." A little girl, Emma, picked up her torn book with tears. "But Miss Sarah, I pray for my sick mom every day. Your mom is dying because there is no God," the teacher yelled. Emma's mother had cancer. Every night, the girl prayed by her hospital bed. "Please, God, make mommy better." But her mother got worse. At school, Emma stopped smiling. She stopped eating lunch. "God doesn't hear me," she whispered. Miss Sarah watched the sad little girl. Something inside her heart felt broken. That weekend, she visited Emma's mother in the hospital. "I'm sorry I was mean to your daughter." The weak mother smiled. "Emma talks about you every day. She prays for you too." "What? Emma prays for me?" Miss Sarah was shocked. "Yes, she says her mean teacher must be very sad inside. Only sad people hurt others." The mother coughed. "Emma believes God will heal your heart." Miss Sarah started crying. 2 weeks later, Emma's mother died. At the funeral, Miss Sarah held Emma tight. "I'm so sorry," but Emma looked up with brave eyes. "Mommy is with God now, and God sent you to take care of me." Miss Sarah Sarah adopted Emma. Years later, Emma became a doc. She saved many lives. Miss Sarah kept Emma's old prayer book on her desk. God works in mysterious ways. Drop a heart if you believe God uses broken people to heal others.
A young girl stood nervously behind the register, her hands trembling as she scanned items. It was only her second week, and the busy supermarket made her anxious. When she accidentally scanned an item twice, the woman in front of her exploded. "How hard can this job be? You're wasting everyone's time!" she yelled, causing the cashier's eyes to well up with tears. Just as the girl was about to crumble, a customer behind her intervened. "You don't have the right to treat her like that. She's doing her best." The rude woman, stunned, stormed off. The cashier managed a weak smile, grateful for the support, but then noticed the woman's badge. It was from the same supermarket, a senior manager sent to evaluate how new hires handled stress. Later, she was called into the office. Expecting the worst, she was surprised when the manager praised her for keeping her composure. "You didn't quit when it got tough. You passed the test." The girl left with a newfound understanding. Challenges often disguise themselves as unfair situations, but how you respond defines you.
This old janitor walked into the college dorm and started cleaning. An angry student threw his failed test at him. "Get out, old man. This place is for smart people only. God hates me anyway. I'm done trying." The janitor quietly picked up the paper. Then he pulled out money from his pocket. "Here's $200 for your books." The student grabbed it and laughed. Finally, someone useful around here. Days passed. The student kept failing tests. His roommate said, "That old janitor asks about you every day. He's weird. Just ignore him. Why won't he leave me alone?" One morning, the student found an envelope under his door. Inside was $500 and a note. "For your tuition, you matter." He ran downstairs. The janitor was mopping the floor. "Why do you keep giving me money?" "I'm mean to you," the old man smiled. "Because someone once did the same for me." "Who?" "Your father." The student froze. "My dad died when I was little." "You're lying." The janitor showed him an old photo. Two young men in army uniforms. "Your dad saved my life in the war. Before he died, he made me promise to watch over his son. I've been your guardian angel for 20 years. The student fell to his knees crying. "God, I thought you forgot me." "I never forgot you, son. I just worked through quiet hands." Drop a heart if you believe God's love follows you everywhere. A wealthy businessman sits in a hospital waiting room. Nearby, a poor-looking woman kneels on the floor. She quietly prays with her eyes closed. The businessman laughs loudly. "Excuse me, lady. This is a hospital, not a church. Get up." The woman ignores him. She continues praying. The businessman gets angry. He pulls out his phone. He takes a photo of the woman. "This is going viral. Look at this crazy homeless woman praying in a hospital." He posts it online with mean words. A nurse walks by. She sees the woman. The nurse smiles and gives her a warm blanket. "Here you go, ma'am. Stay comfortable." The businessman stands up. "Hey, why are you helping her? I've been waiting here for an hour. No one gave me a blanket." The nurse walks away without answering. The businessman's phone rings. His assistant calls. "Sir, our biggest client just canceled. They saw your social media post. They said you're disrespectful." His face turns red. The businessman walks over to the woman. "You're making me lose money. Your stupid praying is cursing me." He throws his coffee cup near her. "Wake up. God isn't real. Money is real. Look at all this cash." He waves his wallet. The woman opens her eyes. She looks at him calmly. "I'm praying for my daughter. She's in surgery right now." "So what? I'm here for my mother's surgery. But I don't waste time praying. Prayer doesn't save lives. Money does. I paid the best doctors." Just then, a doctor in a white coat walks in. He sees the businessman yelling. "Sir, please be quiet. This is a hospital." The businessman turns around. "Do you know who I am? I own 3 companies. I donate money to this hospital." The doctor looks at the poor woman. "Ma'am, your daughter's surgery went perfectly. She's going to be okay." The woman cries with joy. "Thank you, doc. Thank you, God." The businessman laughs. "See? The doctor saved her, not your prayers." The doctor's face gets serious. "Actually, sir, I'm also the doctor for your mother." The businessman smiles. "Good. And you know I paid you extra money." "Yes, but your mother's surgery was delayed. We found complications. She needs more tests." The businessman's smile disappears. The doctor continues. "And sir, I'm also the hospital director. I saw your post online. We're refunding your donation. We don't accept money from people who mock others' faith." The doctor turns to the woman. "Ma'am, your daughter's surgery was completely free. A generous donor paid for everything anonymously." The woman gasps. "Who?" The doctor points to a man in simple clothes. He sits quietly in the corner. "That gentleman there. He's a multimillionaire. He comes here every week. He prays with families and pays for surgeries." A wealthy businessman's jaw drops. The man in simple clothes stands up. He walks over. "I heard you say money is more powerful than faith, but true wealth is helping others. Prayer gives us strength. Kindness gives us purpose." The businessman falls to his knees. His company keeps losing clients. His phone rings non-stop with bad news. A woman's daughter walks out. She's healthy and smiling. Drop a heart if faith and kindness are worth more than money.